Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining today's webinar once again. As always, my name is Varun Krishna, and I will be guiding all of you through today's webinar. We have a bunch of new releases in the past 2 weeks, and I'm really excited to share about a lot of information about that and some vital uh, releases also updates that we have bought in our software. So I hope that you're all, similarly excited as me, and you're all taking your time to settle down for today's webinar once again. And a warm welcome and thank you very much once again for taking your time to be here today. And I'll be trying my level best to explain all these things in a proper manner itself. All right. So I hope that my screen is visible to everyone. My face is visible as well as I'm properly audible also. So you can just give me a raise hand or a thumbs up sign or anything like that, and we'll get this meeting started. Thank you very much, Vinayak. Thank you very much. So I hope everything is clear. So as always, we are here to discuss about EalSuite evolution. Today we'll be emphasizing on advanced smart filters, custom accounts lookup fields, faster bill processing, and a lot more. All right. So let's get started. As always, we will be first of all looking into our release notes. Yes. So, like I said, in the past 2 weeks, we had so many releases, and okay, so let's take a good look into what were released uh, within 16th of December 2023. So we start with introduction to advanced smart filters, where elevate your data analysis with our newly introduced advanced smart filters. Now, this is a game changer. You know why? Because this allows you to combine the and the or condition within the nested filter combination. So I'll be showing you a lot of examples where this can be worked out with. Next one, new custom accounts lookup field. So streamline your workflow with the newly added custom field for account searching. Again, we'll be looking into different use cases where this can be applied. Faster bill processing for those with lots of customers and supplier data. We sped up the loading time in the contact drop down on bills. Next one, cleaner custom fields. When you delete a custom field, it's gone for good, even if there's data in it. This keeps your view neat and tidy and cluster free. The next enhancement is more ways to filter items. Look out for the new item group filter in several item reports. So we'll be taking a look into each of those reports. And finally, into some resolved issues, a decimal dilemma which has been solved under the minimum sales price. Then the retail invoice log visibility, the issue has been resolved. Then we have brought in more consistency with our date formats under employees list under human resource management module. Okay, so let's get started, right? EalSuite evolution. Yes. The first update, introducing advanced smart filter. Enhance your data analysis capabilities by using our recently introduced advanced smart filters. Like I said, this is a game changer because it allows or it combines the and the or condition within the nested filter combinations up to two or multiple layers deep. And imagine the power of being able to drill down into your data with such precision. So let's take a look into that. So I'll be showing you the whole thing uh, with the help of two different modules like customers and invoices. Let's first of all go into the customers list. So as you can see here, under the customers list, or we'll go with this uh, magnification. We can see the whole customer list here. Uh, Under primary view, this is a view that you have. Now, the advanced smart filters, what kind of filters do we have here? The first one, you can directly add filters into your smart view here, and you can add your filters the usual way, or you can go to your view settings, you can edit the view, and then you can add filters here. Now, what's the speciality of adding filters in the view option? If you add filters here, the filters get added directly into the smart view itself. And if you want to keep it permanent, it's possible. All right. Now, what the new functionality that we have added here is that right next to the add filter button, there's a drop down button. And if you click, you could see an add advanced rule. All right. Now, I'll be, going with from some certain sets of rules here. Here under the apply advanced rule, you can see add filter, and then we also have the facility to add group filters also. So first of all, I'll just duplicate this for our convenience, and let's take a look. So I'd already written down a few things I can show to you. If you take a look into the country column or the country field, you can see that there are countries like mentioned. I'm going to put it as show all. Let it reload. Yeah. So there are a bunch of customers who are directly associated with the country of India, and the rest of the fields are entirely empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to put it as show all. Go to the add advanced rule. Here I'm going to put it as the country is India. All right. So if I go to, I'm gonna just show you what happens on a normal circumstances. If I put the country as India, and if I apply it, I can get the entire list of customers whose country which I've added as India, right? So the same thing happens here, but I need more details from it. If we go to a specific view like this, you could see that the currencies are not always, yeah, the currencies are in some ways distinct. We can see INR here, then we have US dollars. And yeah, I've said it like this. The catalog also changes for few customers. There are GSTI numbers. There are few customers who are GST registered. Then the payment terms are different. Most of them are created by me only. The dates are different. Somehow company names associated with them. So what I'm going to show is, yes, the GST. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a group filter where I'm going to put GSTIN is not empty. Is not empty. So in this case, if the GSTIN is not empty, I will be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? It's not empty. I'll be getting such a way. Now, this is one filter. Now, the way in which I have added this is in the AND condition. So this will be country should be India, and then it should be an AND. Both of these conditions should get satisfied, and such a list of customers will be shown to us. So GSTIN is not empty. And if the GSTIN is not empty, then I'll get, like I told you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be my end result or my end view. And along with that, I'm going to add another filter. Here also we have another condition. So this is a nested condition which comes in. So we have the parent condition, that is the and then we have the sub conditions or the daughter conditions like and. I can place it as and or here, or I can place it as and or here also. So first of all, we'll be going with the and condition. GSTIN where you can have the currency is US dollar. So what happens? If we are specifically taking a look into GSTI numbers, this one and this one have currency INR, this one have US dollars. So this one comes into picture, this one comes into picture, right? That happens. Next, I can again go another layer deep with AND itself. For both of them were the payment terms, is net 45. The payment terms is net 45. So in that case, my final result has to be just one person, and that should be the customer named Asudas. And let's see if this works out. Yes. So see how I have applied this advanced filter. Initially with EalSuite, in any smart view, you only had the provision to go with and, right? Everything works. The basic add filter works with and. If it's a basic filter or the filter which gets, associated with the smart view also. But here with advanced rules, two rules which we have bottom. I can go to those rules. If I want to edit those rules, which I've already created right now, I can go here, or I can apply it once again. I can go to edit advanced rule. I can reach here. So see how the and condition works here. I initially wanted to get a list of customers who are in India and who has GST numbers or who are GST registered and the GST numbers added with them. With that, another and where their currency is USD. So it's a unique condition, right? That's the reason why I chose this. Again, an and where the payment term is net 45. Now, imagine if I deleted this, I could get a list of customers who is in India, who is GST registered, who has GST IN given to them, and whose currency is US dollars. And I think most probably I'll be getting, yeah, 4 of these people, right? So that is a specialty. Again, I can add further things also. Now with payment terms, yes, net 45. If I want to add another group filter, I can add it like this, right? So I can add now. There's only one way to correct this to show you the multiple, um, multiple rules. Like the next layer deep rule, like the 3 rules, which contains US. I think we'll be getting that result itself. See, that's a specialty. So that is a specialty here with 3 rules deep. So we're working with that. So that is a specialty. So yeah, all right. I think with such kind of an explanation, it will be almost clear for everyone. We can go different layers deep. If I want to, I can add further, add filters also. I can add further groups also. One thing I want to show you is that if your parent condition is and, then you won't be able to change the next, group filters. It will also be in a similar way with and itself. If it's in an or state, then it works in an or manner itself. I can just give you another, example also. Yeah. Okay. So let's do one thing. We will, yeah. One more thing I want to, show here is that if I reload the page, this completely vanishes. If I go to edit view, and if I'm trying to do the same advanced filter concept here in the smart view, I won't be able to do that because right now we have not applied it into the smart view thing. You can temporarily keep it just for the analysis part. And in the future, this is a building block. We'll be using this building block and we'll be bringing it in a permanent basis itself into the smart view. All right, that's really important. If I want to just keep things very simple, I can go to advanced. I can simply add a group filter itself, where the ID contains US, something like this. I can simply keep it like this. Very simple. That's another thing. Okay. And you also would have seen that when I just did this, add group filter with the ID, which contains US hyphen, is just a single rule. So then the number of layers deep will be shown with one rule, 2 rule, 3 rule, n rule kind of a manner. That's one thing. Let's go to the or condition. So the or condition that I've created here is the ID contains, when I was playing with US hyphen when, and with the group one, my intention is to keep it where the currency S, yeah, Qatari rupees, sorry, not Qatari rupees, Qatari Riyal and US dollars. Here, my parent condition is OR, and where the currency is Qatari Riyal and US dollars. My next sub condition comes. I can keep it and or I can keep it or. So if I'm keeping it or, further filters also will be or. And my parent condition, like if I again click on an add group filter, I could see that my parent condition is keep on getting repeated. So that's a peculiar thing right now. It's not a restriction in a per se, but we are introducing this advanced small filter in such kind of a manner. So I'm going to just remove this. And in our or condition, I'm going to choose city which contains ER. Okay, so what's going to happen right now? When the ID contains US hyphen, what happens here is, let me just refresh this, add filter, the normal filter where the ID contains US hyphen, I get this list. Show all comes in, I get this list. Now think about it. I'm not going to keep it and I'm going to keep it or the currency is Qatari Riyal and US dollars. Here, all of these currencies, not all of these currencies, we have one USD. So this is not going to be the filter I'm going to get. I'm going to get additional customers who also has their currency as Qatari Riyal as well as US dollars. Imagine this. If I want to bring this with my usual filters, we don't have any way to implement that. And this is the hole that the advanced filters fill in. So what happens? I can get a list of customers whose ID starts with US hyphen. Along with that, there will be customers who have their currency as Qatari Riyal as well as US dollars. So this will be a common person. This Virat Sharma or Sham will be a common person in that. We're not really bothered about the common person right now. Or, so it's an additional thing which comes in. Where the city contains ER, where the city contains ER. So if you take a closer look here, 163 ID James Cameron is in the city of Ernakulam, right? Is that person in this list right now? No. So if I want to get such kind of a list with nested conditions, right now, yes, right now it is possible. So two rules with or, okay, there's a small mistake I did. This should be coming as and then we get the right result. So see, the speciality is that we have a bunch of customers who has US hyphen, right? All of this comes with US hyphen itself. And then we have additional customers who are Qatari Riyal, US dollars, does not have US hyphen as their ID. And then we have somebody who has the city which starts with ER or has an ER character in them. So in such a way, OR condition can also be implemented. But the important thing to take a notice is that if you're starting with OR, the further group filters will also be working with OR itself. So that is a speciality here. So if it's and, it's always going to be and. If it's going to be or, it's always going to be or. That's the way it functions. So as of now, we have set the advanced filters within the normal filtering setup itself, not into the smart view filtering way. And if that would have been implemented, then you can directly go to view settings and then keep it. While you're creating a smart view, you won't be able to implement this particular setup right now, but in the future we'll be bringing it here as well. So those are the informations I wanted to share about the advanced filtering setup. I think this is a game changer, like we have already written in our release note itself. This is going to be a real game changer. As of now, we will be using it for analysis part only, but for a later point, this is going to be inside your smart view itself. You'll be able to create a smart view with such kind of setup with n level or layers of depth with the with the viewing concept. All right. So I hope that was clear to everyone. Yes. Now let's move on. New custom accounts lookup field. So here in the add custom field section, this comes in. Enhance your workflow efficiency with our recently integrated custom field, which has a design capability or designed specially for account searching. So for that purpose, Yes. So here, we're all well aware about custom fields, right? We can directly go to our settings, and then here, if we go to our general preferences, we could see custom fields, and I can create a new custom field like default. I'm going to use a use case in which um, if a customer is going to make a payment, then that particular customer has to make a payment to a particular bank account. So if you keep it as default payment account, and I can keep the field type as lookup, then the lookup module will be the new thing that we have introduced, accounts. I can keep it in I will keep it in bill view also, and I'm not going to keep it mandatory. I can submit it. Let's take another use case, so we can create that a field here itself. While invoicing, and if you're sharing the invoice to the customers, imagine, let's say, banking account. I'm going to keep it as the field name as banking account, and here I'm going to place it lookup with accounts. So in such a situation, I'm going to keep in client view. So we take a PDF, we have banking account there. We have already chosen the banking account while creating the invoice itself, and we are sharing it with the customer. So when the customer is taking a look into the invoice, if it's a hard copy or a soft copy, they could see that, okay, the banking account is HDFC or a Jain Bank or CSC Bank or anything like that, and you have to make the payment accordingly into this particular bank. So that information can be shared later into the customer also based on requirements. So such kind of detail can be bought in with such a lookup accounts field. So this is also a building block for us right now. We'll be implementing a lot of things. Now I'll just show you while creating a new customer. And none of these customers will be having those custom fields right now. So we'll just do one thing. We'll just create a new customer, and Ravindran. Let's keep him as a consumer, and you could see default payment account. It should be in HDFC Bank, and you can directly create what? You can directly create uh, a customer like this, and you can save them. So the custom field HDFC Bank, and while you're creating a new invoice, also this can be implemented for Ravindran. Yeah, banking account. And if I create a new invoice like this, okay, I think everything is done, and I save it, and I could see that the default payment account should be HDFC Bank and the banking account should be HDFC Bank itself. So that's a specialty when it comes to invoice, that the custom fields related to the customer will also be shown here. And if I look into the PDF view, I could see that yes, the banking account should be HDFC Bank. So this information will be shared directly to the customer. And if you don't want this default payment account to be present there, we can go directly into the forms and you can hide it as well. So that's another possibility. Yes. So this is a thing we can work with, and that is the way we have introduced our new custom accounts lookup field, right? Default payment account. So imagine like this. In the future, when there's a situation where the customer makes a payment, automatically when you choose the customer, the accounts field also gets directly chosen. How can we implement this? This can only be implemented with a set of rules, and for those rules to be implemented, we need such building blocks. So consider this new release or new update as a building block for that. All right, we will be utilizing this for sure in the future. Moving forward to our next enhancement, faster bill processing. For those with extensive customer and supplier data, we have successfully improved the loading time in the contact drop down bills. So the specialty here is when people who are dealing with retail invoices and everything, I can expect a count of like 5,000 to 6. I mean, if you were using EalSuite for nearly 2 years or for more than 1 year, if the customer count is really high or anything like that, especially when it comes to retail invoices or anything, or normal invoicing also, there will be a bunch of customers. Imagine a situation, there's a bunch of customers. What will you do? I'll just show you what the issue is, the enhancement that we have bought in. When I select this customer, uh, customer contact here, right now what I can see is a list of 50 contacts only. Earlier, it was not like that. Earlier, each and every contact was getting loaded, and it was taking a lot of time for this page to get loaded, and also it was taking a lot of time for this customer list to get loaded. Right now, yeah, I could go through this, and there's a name that I've already written down. Mm, yeah, just in I can just search like X. Yeah, Mary. Just let's take an example of Mary of Dulex company 00111. Without me adding that X here, you won't be able to find Mary. No, Mary is nowhere to be found. So the first 50 customers will be getting loaded here. And when I add a character based on that further, the searching works in the usual manner itself. Based on that, further contacts will be shown to us. So that's a difference. So when the first 50 contact is just getting loaded, the time taken for this particular page to get loaded has been significantly reduced. And in such a way we have faster bill processing. So this happens with customers or end users having extensive customer and supplier data. Next one, cleaner custom fields. When you choose to remove a custom field, it will be permanently erased regardless of any existing data. This approach ensures that your views remain organized and clutter-free. So, and here, what I'll show first of all is I'll go to the settings side, and we can go to the custom field section. And under customers and invoice, you have the default payment account, banking account, what I've just made a while back. So we'll just go to the customer section and the invoice section. Customer Ravindran, this is the custom field created. And for Ravindran's invoice, this is the invoice created. Now, what happens if I go to the custom field section and if I delete this and I reload Ravindran's page, I could see that Ravindran's custom field has been entirely deleted. And I go to this invoice and see how this default payment account just vanishes. The similar thing happens if I delete the banking account custom field associated with invoice as well. I delete it, nothing's going to be, no change here. If I reload it, completely vanishes. So that is a specialty. Cleaner custom fields. If you wish to remove it, you can, but it will be getting permanently erased, clutter free. All right, next one. More ways to filter items. Introducing the new item group filter in various reports, such as item purchase, item wise profit, committed stock, and stock summary. I'll be showing you all these reports one by one so you can get a better clarity on things. We'll go to the report section. And okay, the first one is item purchase. We can search it. Item purchase, and yes, all item groups. So in this particular workspace, I've already created 4 item groups, and based on this, I can filter it. Stringed instruments, I can filter it for this physical year. Filter string instruments, no item purchase history. Last fiscal, no history. Electrical instruments, no history. Other instruments, no history. No, it's fine. In such a way, we'll be able to figure it out. So when you go to the next report will be item wise profit. So item wise profit, here are the item wise profit. Stringed instruments, yes, for violate the profit, it's shown as 0. This is just a dummy workspace for me. And yes, the for electrical instruments, for electric instruments, the item wise profit is shown here. So in such a way, we have introduced it for committed stock. Again, here all items, all sales. Then we have item group present here. Similarly, just a second. Yes, the back, all item group. And then, yeah, I forgot to show you one last report also. Stock summary, again, all item groups. So in all of these four items, yeah, my camera went off there for a while. I hope I was audible. So for all of these items, sorry, or for all of these four reports, we have introduced the all item group filtering option as well. So yeah, that was our final enhancement for this release. Next, we'll be looking into some of the resolved issues. We had 3 bugs that we fixed, small issues. This didn't really cause a lot of dilemmas for us. The first one, decimal dilemma, which has been resolved. Had trouble entering the decimal value in minimum sales price for items, not anymore. So the issue was that while we are creating a new item, we had the provision to add the minimum sales price, right? So if I enable it, I can enable it using the checkbox. Initially, we could only add characters like this. Right now, decimals also comes in. So right now I can keep it like this and I can submit. So is it saved? Let's check. It is properly saved. So no issues. That was a resolved issue. Then the retail invoice log visibility issue, the issue where the retail invoice log wasn't shown up. Now it got fixed. So here it was not, the issue was not regarding the log, log creation part, because which one? I think this one. Let's take an example here. Every time when something was being done associated with any retail invoice or anything like that, the log was being created, but it was not shown in the UI of the customers or in the end users. So here everything works fine. On 5th of December, I created this invoice, but it was in an unpaid state. On 29th of December, I made the payment. So the activity log is working fine for. No, this is not a release or anything like that. Retail invoice already had logs. It was being created fine, but it was not being properly shown, right? So for any retail invoice which was created long time ago also, you will be able to see the log for when the retail invoice was created and also when the payment was made as well. And one more issue that we have fixed, date format consistency. We have sorted the date format for date of joining and date of birth in the employee list for better clarity. Now, this is regarding the human resource management module. If you go to the HRM module under the employee section, the date of birth and the date of joining was not used with, was not present initially, or was not separated. The dates, month, year and everything was not separated with slash. It was separated with hyphens. So that was not really uniform with the way in which our software was working. Everything else was being separated. The months, dates, the day, the years was separated with slash or forward slash to be precise. So we have bought that in as well. So that's another resolved issue. So we had 2 major updates this time, 3 major enhancements and 3 resolved issues. So that was all the information I had to share to all of you guys there. If now is the time for you to ask your doubts, you have a Q&A section. I hope that everybody remembers this because I repeats it every time. And I can see so many familiar faces also. So the Q&A section is out there. You can ask your doubts. You can post it in the chat box as well. You can use the raise hand option. I'll allow you to speak. If you're comfortable with just the words, you can type it as well. Shoot your questions. It's time for you to enter into the realm and speak. Okay, I have a question here, and the question is that Sanjay sir, I can see that the question is related to our second release, right? Related to accounts. Like I told you, we have bought in this lookup field directly associating it with accounts just as a building block. As of now, if you're creating an expense or anything like that for the customer, the direct default functionality of the account getting popped up or directly getting chosen is we haven't implemented that as of now, but we have bought in the building block, and in the future we'll be implementing that. That's the way in which it goes. Okay, can you show me the supplier and customer issue? I hope that you're talking about the faster bill processing. I think then we have already bought in the enhancement. I can show it to you just like this. Let me just check. Um, you need a bunch of customers for that. And let me just show it to you like this. If you go to the customers section, you can see a bunch of customers, like show all. Yes, we have a bunch of customers here. Bunch of customers. In such situations, imagine you're about to create an invoice and this gets loaded easily. I'll show it to you like this. Yeah, no throttle. I'll go with slow 3G, and let me just reload this page and let's see what happens. See, the contact session is not getting loaded. Yeah, it is right now getting loaded. So slow 3G offline again. I'll just show it to you once again. Check here. This is not getting loaded right now. I'll just once again reload and I'll just show you the time it takes. 1, 2, 3. So it is right now taking 3 seconds for nearly 200 to 300 customers. No, I'm not quite sure whether the count is right. Throttling. I'm reloading. So no. We're talking about 25 into 13, right? So 25 into 10, 250. Yeah, nearly. We're looking at like 300 plus customers here on a total, including the retail also. So in such situations, this is not going to be an issue. Okay, I'll add one more thing. Yeah, I have another question here. I think it's also related to the same thing itself. Does it affect? Yes, it definitely affects your internet connection. It definitely affects the way in which your processor works with your laptop or your desktop or anything like that. And also another thing which comes into picture is your browser. If your browser is slow, then it takes a lot of time for you to load. If your internet is slow, it's just what I've just shown to you. If your internet is slow, it takes a lot of time for you to load. And these are all external things, else you cannot take care of any of this. But if you put aside all of these things, what we could improve is the way in which the search mechanisms and the way in which the contact searching or the popping up works. So we have done that from our side. So I hope in that aspect it is clear to everyone. Is there any other questions anybody's having? I'll just give you a few moments so you can take your time and then come up with the questions. No, everything is clear. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I think I've done with all the information sharing. If you want to stay and still listen to the doubts that the rest of the people are having, you can, gladly be here. Otherwise, you can, leave the meeting as you choose. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to you too, Sanjay. I think that is up. I think everybody is quite clear with what I've shared today. So like, I always tell, go through the release notes, reach out to us if you're having any doubts regarding the release notes. You can also go through our YouTube channel in which we will be updating all these webinars, the different kinds of use cases and everything. Please go through that also. Reach out to our support team if you're having any further doubts regarding any of the features that you're working with right now. If you're new to EalSuite, if you're old to EalSuite, go through your release notes every once in a while. All right. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining today's webinar. I hope it was informational. The way in which I shared the information was quite good, and I hope that all of these releases will be useful and will increase your productivity in a better manner while using our software. Thank you very much. With this, I'll be winding up the meeting. We'll meet again in 2 weeks' time. Bye bye, everyone.